I don't know what we're talking about. But this is my first sip.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks.
Connection.
Thanks for connecting. This is my first cup of coffee. Or my first sip of coffee.
Quarantine day number 192.
I know some people are saying day number 3004. I guess that's just what it feels like. And boy, I can understand why people get up and take a shower and then get moving before they record, because I sound terrible. So, like, congested-y. But
Ooh.
gotta do this before the crew gets up.
One of them's already out.
Because, well, yeah, but she's being good.
She has been good. Tough night, but good morning, so.
Yeah. So we're connecting. What are we talking about?
We started doing a virtual, what were we doing last
Couples
time?
retreat.
A virtual couples retreat. Shout out to Layla Martin. It's just about kind of...
Well, just to preface, there's so many things that are out there, so it's fun to like find things to plug into.
Yeah.
And when you're stuck at home with your loved ones, I don't know, it can be a neat time to just like advance those relationships in some way. Be it like crafting with your kids or exploring fun things with your partner.
Significant other, getting your spouse, maybe get your intimacy level back to get so lost, like with the kids and work and all that other stuff.
That you forget to create your like sacred bubble space of, coupledom is what she called it, which I thought was kind of cool.
Coupledom.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good reminder for me that you can have relationships where part of it is just where you feel safe together and you feel like in that like sacred space where nothing else exists and you're just almost suspended in like this little protective good place, because you and I, because we work together and we have young kids and we are, doing all these other tasks, I always just feel so like we have to be productive and doing something and setting something up and making sure systems are in place and are we okay here? And it's just this constant kind of heady place. So yeah, last night was just nice to remind me, because to be completely honest, like even in the evenings, like we don't even share a bedroom anymore, because you have this kid, I'm covering these.
Try to alternate so someone can get sleep. Sleep
cycles are sleep times are alternated. So it's just a kind of funny time in life that won't be forever.
No.
But it's just nice to take a moment of 15 minutes and just like sit next to each other and hold hands and remember that we can
kind
be
of
that
be us
place for each other. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was funny productivity. What I just see yesterday was a quote from Alan Watts saying, we need to get out of like measuring our day out of productivity, and it should be measured on how present you were. So not about how productive you were for the day, but how present you were. And I think we get to do that more and more. Right now, currently, it's like we got to be here. If we're not here, if one of us isn't here clicked in like with the house and the kids, and then the other one being present either with the work or even just last night with what we were doing for the coupledom, being present for that stuff. So that's a really interesting way to measure. It's different than what everyone else is talking about this day and age. It's like, you have to be so productive, and every second and every minute, every hour has to count for something. It's like, no, don't do that. You actually are more productive when you are living your life and being you and doing all that stuff. That's how you increase productivity.
Well, because your productivity, you can force it, or you can just surrender to what you enjoy, and then it will come naturally, I feel, right? Ooh, do the thing, pull up on your phone, the quote from Reclaim Your Crown, or Unless You Remember It. I really liked that one too.
Oh yeah, Reclaim Your Crown. So shout out to Nicole Willis. She had a quote saying that if you don't come out of this quarantine with like 3 things, so either a new skill, a side hustle that you've done, or
so I told you pull it up.
One more thing, but the whole point was
better memory. Just kidding. Slate zing.
It was never about not having enough time. It was just not having enough discipline. And
well, if you didn't come with those 3 things, that's what you're saying. Like if
you don't come, you don't produce one of those things in this time period, like if with all this extra time that you now have, if you can't do one of those things, it's never been about time. It's what we always say. It's you.
You, self-discipline, commitment, whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people are plugging into someone's doing a new language. Someone got back into guitar.
I had a girlfriend, her husband's learning guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are doing why not?
Yeah. Well, and so you and I created just a little social entity for connecting, and I think we're constantly trying to figure out how we work best together.
Yeah.
Right? Because we can make kids, and we can run a household, and we've worked in clinics where we've been side by side and thrived so beautifully under the direction of others. But now that we're together and we're just the two of us and we're building things, there's resistance, there's I don't know, it's just been a journey of trying to listen but also be persistent and keep going. So this is an outlet for us to play with personalities and see if it works and have fun and hopefully provide value, especially as we keep getting better at this and practicing. So this is our outlet that we're making public to the world, to just play around with our connection and talk about how we process through things.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes. R&B Connect.
R&B Connect.
Yeah.
Coffee Connections.
Yeah. But all about just connecting and figuring out how we best can do that, and making time for it.
Yeah.
On the regular. I wanted to do it every day. We want to do it every day.
The goal is to get to every day. It wasn't to start out and be doing every day. It's not realistic for us at this point.
Yeah. But we do some sort of this.
Yeah.
85% of the time.
We're just not recording it.
Yeah. But having some sit down ritual to just connect.
Yeah. So let's say today's Sunday. How present are we going to be for ourselves? How present will you be for yourself? I mean, will you set up your week is it going to be for productive, or is it going to be for how present you're going to be with everything? Because in a week it's going to be Easter.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I'm surprised. I'm waiting for the for the update. Easter canceled.
Easter.
What?
Jesus cannot resurrect.
They canceled
this year.
Easter. What?
No.
He's
not coming to save us this year.
How many virtual Easters are going to happen? That'll be interesting.
Oh, we have eggs. I know. That's nutty. Well, it's just the disruption that is, but this too shall pass.
Part of it.
Yeah. I like that. I like being present. And I like getting into this ritual with you. Excuse me. And I like the ritual thought too. I've been plugging into rituals and the importance of, and then I think back to, no, I guess it wasn't Layla Martin. It was another feminine, powerful person I was following. But there's kind of the masculine world of routine, where it's get up and write in your journal and do your exercise and drink your water, and it's for me it always felt a little forced, but I felt in order to be a high performer and to be on my top of my game, I had to have these routines in place. But I've recently played around with the thought of more rituals and allowing for the just fulfilling the need for movement or focus or reflection, and whatever that feels like for you, that morning, just focusing more on the feelings that you want to have, or the goals that you want to fulfill, and having those little rituals in place. That's kind of what this is for us. It's not this rigid thing, but just let's play with it and see what comes. So rituals are fun, and we're doing a lot of shout outs, but I'm just going to talk about what we're looking at. Natalie MacNeil is a author and a cool presence on a thought leader, I guess, in YouTube and things. But she recently wrote a book. I think it's called Rituals, but it's cool. It's out now, and she talks. I've heard a lot of podcasts of her mentioning just different types of rituals and how to incorporate that into your life, and how that can be really just a powerful way to explore how to express yourself and find that flow and that rhythm. So that was another cool thing. I don't know if I shared that with you.
I would argue almost that the routines and rituals are the same thing. It just being like addressed differently, and it's like two sides of a coin. Where if you address it like a routine, it's like a task that has to get done. That's more the masculine energy. When you do it as a ritual, like what's in this for me? What am I supposed to get out of it? That's like the feminine aspect of it, and both are super important. You don't want to get lost of just the masculine of like you can do it. I do this every day, and this is what I do. And some people get lost with a routine of this is what I have to do. I get it can like start sinking your nervous system and getting things done for you, but if you're also missing that awareness piece, like what's in it for you, that it's like calming, relaxing, it's setting you up, it's allowing for expression, like that's where the journaling comes in. If it's like forced, you got to write something every day, like I feel like then you're going to be like, ah.
Could that be like a presence is to productivity as ritual is to routine?
Yes, I love it. Whoa.
Could it be like, wow. I just brought it all together.
Yes.
Right? Kind of. Because that's all really good, but maybe that's going to be a post later. Who knows? But it's all of benefit, but it's just making sure that, you're playing around with it for whatever works for you. Again, because sometimes I just felt like if I didn't do the routine, then I was failing. So just figuring out how to allow for you to plug into it and be consistent, because that's the important thing. It's just consistency.
And that's that discipline from the Alan Watt, or not Alan Watts, from the Reclaim Your Crown, Nicole Willis. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, hope you guys are plugging into stuff. Hopefully you have a beautiful Sunday coming up. If you live where we live, the weather is beautiful. I mean, we've seen still people out and about enjoying keeping their space from people. I think we had our daughter, you walked out with the kids out the fence, and our daughter walked up.
Respecting physical distancing in the lockdown that Arizona has right now.
It's so hard. The kids are
But little. We have a gate that we back out to a big greenbelt park, and so we just walked out the gate to let our dog run out into the grass, and there was a gentleman out there, and the moment my 3-year-old approached him, probably 20, 30 feet away, he stood up and ran from us. And I'm not criticizing, well, I guess I'm to some degree criticizing, but it was just an interesting exchange, and my 3-year-old was confused, as was I, honestly, but it's a hard thing to explain right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing people like, are you wiping everything down? Like, some people are wiping their mail down. Like, it's just getting...
To each their own, with the beliefs in place.
Don't let this time, though, make you neurotic. It's not worth it. I mean, that's going to knock your immune system down so much more, and it's going to expose you to getting sick, whether you're going to get coronavirus or not. You're going to get at something else. So you gotta, it's just, for some points, perspective, you can't go like overkill with it. Understand about like the physical distancing, trying to flatten the curve, all that stuff. We've posted about that. We've talked about that, but neuroses is like, this is a real thing, like anxiety, like knocking down your immune system. Like maybe that's the worst thing that could be happening right now. And so that's the awareness that we have to have.
Yeah. Well, and when we're all not as busy, the busyness often is the distraction from the neuroses that lies underneath. And we're all susceptible to that. And so now that we're not so busy, we're kind of exposed to that shadow self. And it's scary. And so putting some practices into place that can allow for you to like process that appropriately, rituals and routines and connection, and can just allow for you to kind of dive in and explore that, but not get lost in the super darkness and let it like consume you. I mean, even if it does a little, just kind of bring yourself back and plug into things that are helpful. How many patients have we worked with that are just like, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Scrolling through media feeds.
Yep.
You are going to hear of big news if you need to by someone. And what are we going to really do that different? We're all sitting at home. Like now the CDC says we all are encouraged to wear a mask when we go outside. Okay, that's the new thing. So when I go outside, I'll do that.
We're China now.
So we'll hear it, but yeah, it's an interesting time, and you just need to start putting some things into place to allow for now yourself alone with yourself or alone with your loved ones to not lose it.
And there's a lot of great stuff happening too. I mean, there are companies that are like sharing, their technology, or people are giving out, like I've seen people offering like free coaching. I've seen people offering, like a 30-month or 30-day, 30-month. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. 30-day.
Let's do that one.
30-day. People are just reaching out. And so like, I think I'm trying to fight for like, don't lose your humanity. Like at this point, like where people are like hoarding and doing different things, it's like thinking about myself, number one, like let's not lose our humanity in all of this. Like let's continue to be, there's an opportunity for us to like all get closer, build that infrastructure where we're all supporting each other, where like neighbors that we used to kind of see, or is like, it's even like distance. And I understand like some of our neighbors are a little older, we have little kids and stuff. And
well, but also in that, because I also think like people's true colors kind of come out in crisis, in emergent mode and urgency. And so we've had that like initial urgency, and now that's almost settled. And I've had talks with people of like, okay, what was your initial reaction? What does that say about you? Let's think about that. Let's talk about that. Me too. Was I upset? Like, no, you can't tell me I can't go to my string training game. I'm pissed off that you're screwing up my fun. And then. Oh, that was, in thinking back, like that was a really selfish reaction. And why wasn't I more so concerned with the community, or just different things to be able to kind of think through how I reacted to things, because that's telling of me.
Yeah.
And just explore yourself a little bit more. Did I go out and buy 90 rolls of toilet paper for my family of,
where are you hiding that in our house? I need to know.
And then it's like, okay, why did I do that?
Yeah.
And what does that say about me? And just explore that a little bit and see what that can tell you about yourself. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. Maybe you feel like I'm just a prepared person. And I want to make sure that I'm as prepared as possible for myself and maybe for my neighborhood. I don't know. But just explore that a little bit, because true colors do come out. And you can also like kind of change those around. We have the time to modify or adjust how we define ourselves.
Well, now it's like the initial reaction. Now it's like that long-term reaction where everyone's, you're quarantined till the end of this month of the 30th. And so what's your reaction to that? Like, what are you going to do? Like, continue to look at that jerk knee, like reaction. So respond.
Cool. That was a lot more than I thought we were going to talk about.
Always is.
It is.
Always is.
Always is. I thought I was going to ask you about your dreams and stuff, but no. All right.
Boom.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks for listening. Hopefully tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to start
day one. Day one.
Yeah.
We're going to do our 10-day project, so we're going to plug in and do it ourselves.
What is that? Some people don't know what that is.
Okay, so the Blocks of Hell 10-day project is doing 6 habits. So the first thing you want to do is kind of prep that you're going to do this, and then you want to write like 3 either concerns or a symptom or something that you're kind of like front of your mind. And so
that is of concern, but it's something that maybe you just are dealing with that you'd rather not.
And the irony was one of the ones I was going to write is going to be productivity. So obviously that's not going to be, I'm going to do presence. Like how present was I?
It still could be.
It could still be. I could do both, and just see. So then like for the 10 days, you do the 6 habits of drink a gallon of water a day. Start out with some exercise, for 30 minutes. It could be light activity. If you're not doing anything, we're not telling you, obviously you're not going to go to a gym. And you don't have to like start doing heavy.
Wrestle with the kids.
Yeah, wrestle with the kids. Go for a 30-minute walk for like steps. So that's a necessity. You can leave the house. You can go do that. And then
sleep.
So set your sleep patterns. Going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time. So you're like getting set sleep. Obviously, some of that will be tough. Like we know we'll struggle with it because our kids just don't sleep through the night. So that'll be an interesting challenge. But we're gonna do it.
But it's not. And also, for me, this 10-day project is not about accomplishing the task, and if you don't, you fail. It's about being mindful of each task so that you can just incorporate that, like be intentionally working towards incorporating that in, because they're important foundational pieces to your health. So yeah, the rest, the movement. Like if you don't get 30 minutes in, don't end the day and say, oh, I have to start again. Shoot. It's just, okay, tomorrow I'm just going to be more mindful of incorporating that into my routine.
Yeah. Pay attention to, if you struggle to get a certain thing done, why did that happen? Like, what, did you have an excuse? Did you have a reason? Like, pay attention to these things, because it's supposed to bring to
the surface.
Yeah, what you're doing all the time, right? So if you're using an excuse to get off something, or you're trying to change it or tailor it or something, this is how you approach everything. So the 10 days is really to then, for us, is really to have that symptom or whatever concern, what it looks like after. But so what we did get your sleep.
Yep.
30 minutes activity. Your nourish is then to drink your water.
Mm-hmm.
The remove is, we're talking about processed sugar.
Refined sugar.
Refined, processed, any kind of sugar. It's like,
just don't eat junk.
Yep.
I know I was in the grocery store the other day. I'm going to drop a little judgment. And I think people were looking at me because I had my little daughter. And I was trying to respect physical distancing, but we were getting kind of close, proximity just on occasion. And people are just, glances and different things. The exchanges between people is very unique right now. And there's definitely just some kind of like, well, what are you doing here? And part of me was like, people would have chips and, candy bars and all this stuff in your cart. And I'm like, well, I'm getting close to you. I know that's, a risk, but look at what you are picking to take home to your family. That is also not the best idea.
Could have been stress eating. We don't know.
So I didn't mean to share that. I was trying to be not too judgmental in that, but come on, people. So don't eat a bunch of sugar.
All right.
Cut the sugar out.
So then the fifth thing is then for yourself, write yourself a note, a positive, either encouraging kind of note, whatever, and then read it to yourself in the mirror. Make eye contact with yourself in the mirror. Super important. It'll be more powerful. And then the sixth thing is to reach out to a person every day and send them a positive, either comment or note, or reach out and say hi.
I'm
if it's
grateful. Yeah,
say, I love you, thank you for being in my life, thank you for this, whatever, just to get that gratitude and compassion and different things kind of like rolling. Those
are the 6 things that we've found through the years to be most foundational, most critical for people to just like build health from.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like pattern recognition on our end. And sounds simple, but darn, sometimes it's tricky. So just kind of getting that
simple works,
laying that groundwork to allow you to build upon in the coming weeks and months. So we're going to do it again. We do it all the time, but we're going to officially do it again tomorrow and play with it.
Track every morning, tell you how we're doing.
Yeah. So that's it. Cool. Introduction. All right. Signing off. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, Scottsdale.